Hey guys, it's JaffiePlays. Today we're talking Wayfinder. 10 tips and tricks to get you started in the world of evenor. Starting with the imbuements. The imbuements applied during the selection phase of the expedition are different from the ones applied within the expedition. When going to the Gloomsphere, you're able to apply an imbuement to the specific expedition or hunt you are running. Applying an imbuement on the Gloomsphere will give your expedition or hunt a debuff. The greed imbuement. This will add piles of gold all over the expedition's floor, giving you gold, but at the same time, this will be buffing the enemies to deal more damage to you. The solar imbuement. All the enemies' attacks will cause you to burn. As well as that, it will randomly do heat waves across the expedition that will buff the enemies. The chaos imbuement. This guarantees a trickster to spawn in your expedition somewhere. The negative being that throughout the whole expedition you will be constantly having to dodge bombs. The flora imbuement. This will add mushrooms all over the expedition that will apply poison to you when you are standing in them. Also, any poisonous enemies within the whole expedition will apply damage over time to you when they hit you. The shadow imbuement. All enemies in the expedition get empowered by the gloom. This will cause all enemies at half health to enrage, meaning that they will grow larger, deal more damage, and explode upon dying. Whereas, when you go up to a challenge within the expedition or hunt and you apply an imbuement, this will give your teammates and you a buff. The green imbuement will apply a speed buff. The solar imbuement will apply a max HP buff. The chaos imbuement will apply a stamina buff. The flora imbuement will apply a defense buff. Lastly, the shadow imbuement will apply an attack buff. Next is locking onto your targets within combat. When playing fast-paced characters like Nis, locking onto your targets is a crucial thing, as using the shadow step ability will cause her to dash through your target, leaving your camera facing the wrong way in order to dash again. Locking onto your target will make it so that when you or the target does a fast-paced movement where you cannot keep up, your camera will automatically follow the enemy along with the way that your character is facing. The example clip that has been playing on the screen shows you the effect of locking on when using Nis's ultimate ability, allowing you to spam your shadow step ability constantly. If I didn't lock on in this scenario, I would have missed 40 to 60% of the time. The next tip we have is one of the best movement mechanics within the game. It is hard to do, but once you figure it out, it will be the quickest way to move around the map. Doing this mechanic is easier when jumping downwards, but can also be done on flat surfaces. When you jump, you want your first jump to fall a bit, lowering you closer to the floor. Then you want to press your second jump, and upon the character starting to fall, press the dash button, followed by the jump very shortly after, if not instantly. You will basically want your character to dash towards the ground, and as the dash ends with you touching the ground, you will jump. This will cause you to gain a huge amount of momentum in your character. Once you get that movement down, you can chain this multiple times as you have seen in the clip. The next tip is set bonuses. You may not have noticed that accessories actually have a set bonus. When crafting different accessories, you can see what is needed for that set, as well as seeing what each set bonus effect is. The next tip we have is crafting weapons or wayfinders. If you are confused as to where you can gain the materials needed to craft a specific weapon or wayfinder, you can always click into that item or character you're trying to create and hit the view ingredient details button. This will bring up a screen that will explain each of the materials and where the materials can be gained. The next tip is echoes. These are one of your character's main stat changes. Slotting echoes into the right slot is important. This will reduce the cost of placing the echo into the slot by half. Knowing if the slot is correct is done by viewing the icon in the bottom left. A bonus tip is echo fusions. Once you hit a certain point in the main story quest, you will unlock this system. This will allow you to take any echo that you have equipped and make it stronger. This menu can be found by hovering over the equipped echo and pressing the key shown on the bottom right. On this screen, you will see how much fusion XP is left to increase your echo to the next level. You can increase the amount of fusion XP by using unused echoes. Using the exact same echo type will cause the amount of fusion XP to be greater. This is displayed below the echo you are picking to fuse. Once you have enough fusion XP required, hold the fuse echo button in the bottom right. This will increase the rank and stats of your equipped echo. Next, we have the world map and fast travel. Playing with my friends has taught me that this may not be common knowledge. You can actually fast travel between different zones in the game, such as Skylight and Highlands. When on the world map, you can press the world map view. This will then allow you to select the zone you want to view. You can choose any fast travel point in the zone you want to go. As well as fast traveling between zones, you can also use fast travel anywhere. You do not have to be near a signal flare. The next tip is quest dots not appearing. If dots are not appearing for you, there is a simple fix. Go to your quest log and retract the quest you are trying to complete. This will refresh the dots in the game world, allowing you to see the location to head towards. The next tip is affinities. Each accessory you're using has different stats applied to it. Your affinities affect the stats that are applied to the accessory you have equipped. So for example, I have the accessory with the stats resilience, magic defense, and crit power. If I wanted to affect the crit power stat of my accessory, I would look for the affinity that affects that stat and levels it up. Another thing that people might not know, affinities actually have checkpoints that give additional passives. In the bottom right of your screen, you can see the button required to pull up the perk screen. Hovering over each perk will display the rank required to unlock that passive. The last tip I have is more of a bonus one to anyone that has brought the higher tiers of the founder pack and received a Wayfinder token. Do not use these Wayfinder tokens. Wait on these to use them for future heroic Wayfinders, as we can be confident that they will be a lot harder to gain or craft than their base version. This is a simple tip, but a very crucial one to save time in the future. That is all the tips and tricks I have for this video. I will be covering this game long term. I have guides for the hunts coming, along with how to craft specific weapons and Wayfinders, along with a lot more. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe and like. As always, I look forward to seeing you all in Wayfinder and in the next video.